Morning, parents. Previously, I have sent out an invitation through WhatsApp to all the parents from my Chinese class so that I can meet them individually to share with them about what the pupils are going to learn in Term 3 and Term 4. I managed to meet almost half of the class parents during the weekends, and I understand some of the parents might be very, very busy. So I'm making this video to share with you about those useful informations. Which I've shared with the parents during the individual parents-teacher meeting. All right, let's have a look at the slides. All right, if you would like to know about your child's behavior during the lesson time and how they've done their homework, you can text me through WhatsApp at any time, then we can have a chat over there. Now I'm going to share with you about our requirements about the homeworks. All right, by the way, this video is in English so that parents who does not understand Chinese can also understand what I'm saying. All right, so to make this video more user-friendly. For the homeworks, we have a Chinese writing exercise book, which will help the students to practice the handwriting of Chinese words. We have activity books, which will help the students to memorize and revise what they've learned during the class. It's all the practice about word, phrases, sentences writing, and even comprehension. 补充练习 is a worksheet designed by the school, which is similar to activity book. And 听写 is the spelling test. We have spelling test on every Friday, most of the time. It would be great if the pupils can do their own revision at home with parents on Thursday night, so that on Friday they will be able to perform well in the spelling test. For all the homeworks, we strongly encourage the pupils to cultivate a habit of checking their homework after they are done, so that they can find out those careless mistakes that they've made and correct it before submitting the homework to the teachers. For all the homeworks, we hope that the pupils can do it in neat and tidy handwriting. And after the teacher has marked the homework and returned to the pupils, we hope that the pupils can use a green pen or any different color pen or pencil to do the corrections. Coming up next, I'm going to share with you about what the pupils are going to learn in Term 3 and Term 4. Our learning content is split into 4 parts: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. For the listening, I'm going to show you one of the practice paper that they are going to do in Term 4. This is the practice paper. There are 2 parts in the listening paper. The first part is to listen to the audio and choose the correct picture. This practice requires the students to be very particular about the details of the content. For example, 一块蛋糕 and 一片蛋糕, 一杯牛奶, 一盒牛奶. They really have to be very careful about the details in the audio so that they can choose the correct answer. In the listening practice, all the audio tracks will be played twice. And for most of the pupils, they will be able to choose the correct answer within the first round. And we strongly encourage the pupils to read next questions, read the questions on the next page when they have time, so that they have an idea about what the question is trying to ask, so that when they are listening to the audio, they can directly choose the correct answer. If not, they will have to listen to the audio, read the question, try to find the correct answer at the same time. It will be quite rushing and more challenging, and then they might be easier to make mistake. This is about the listening practice. There will be 10 questions. 5 picture, and the other 5 is MCQ. After the listening practice, we have a speaking practice. I'm going to show you the practice paper as well. This is the practice paper for speaking practice. As you can see, there will be sentences below the picture, which works as a hint for the pupils. But in the real practice, the pupils will only be given a picture without any helping words or sentences. In term 3 and term 4, we are going to teach the pupils about the basic structures about what they're going to say, which includes 开头 the introduction, 内容 the main content, and 总结 the conclusion. In the introduction part, 开头 they have to talk about the venue of the picture, the timing, and even who is in the picture. It is very obvious from the picture about the venue. For example, this picture is in the living room, 客厅. However, for the timing, the pupils are required to predict the timing. For example, from this picture, we can see all the family members are at home. So it might be evening time, during weekdays, or during weekends. So the pupils need to be able to predict the timing of the picture. So this is an example of the introduction. 这幅图描述的是客厅里的情景. They are expected to describe the pictures in full and complete sentences. So they cannot just say 客厅. Instead of that, they have to say 这幅图描述的是客厅里的情景. 今天是星期天 about the timing, 所以全家人都留在家里. Who is in the picture? After this, they are going to talk about the main content. There are 3 levels about the main content. But the first level is about who is doing what in the picture. They are supposed to describe the picture in one direction, from the left to the right or from the right to the left. They cannot jump anywhere of the picture. Like, for example, they cannot just talk about this boy first, then the grandmother, then mother. This will sound quite messy. So we encourage the students to describe the picture in one direction. If from the left to the right should be the boy, mother, father, sister, and grandmother. So they are supposed to talk about what they are doing individually. For example, for the boys, they can say there is a boy who is doing the homework. 有一位男生正在做功课. His mother is helping him. 他的妈妈正在帮助他. So this is the basic, the first level. If the pupils are able to say about, talk about what the people in the picture is doing, they will at least have a pass for the speaking practice. If the full mark is 10 marks, they will be able to get 5. If they want to have higher marks, they have to go to level 2, which is personal opinions, which normally the sentence starts with 你认为. So it will sound like this. 一位男生在做功课，他的妈妈在帮助他. This is the first level. 谁在做什么? Who is doing what? For the next level, personal opinions, the pupil have to say, 我认为他们这么做是非常好的，或者非常有用的，因为有了妈妈的帮助，这位男生就能够更好的完成他的功课。This is the personal opinion. I think this is a very good practice because with the assistance from the mother, the boy will be able to finish his homework in a much better way. And if they are able to do this, we will give them 7 to 8 marks out of 10. If they would like to achieve full marks, they will have to relate their own personal life with the picture. It will sound like this. 一位男生正在做功课，他的妈妈在帮他。First level， 我认为这么做是非常好的，因为有了妈妈的帮助，这位男生就能够更好的完成他的功课。This is level 2. For level 3, it sounds like 我平时在家里做功课的时候，我的妈妈也会帮助我。我非常感谢我的妈妈，因为有了她的帮助，我的学习有了很大的进步。So this is how the pupils can relate their own personal life with the picture. So in English, it will sound like this. A boy is doing his homework. His mother is helping him. This is level 1. Who is doing what? I believe this is a very good practice because with the assistance from the mother, the boy will be able to finish the homework in a much better way. This is level 2, personal opinions. And the level 3 is to relate the pupil's personal life with the picture. It will sound like this. When I am doing homework at home, my mother will help me as well. I really would like to say thank you to my mother because with her help, I improved a lot in my studies. If the pupils can describe the picture in this way to the third level, then they will have full marks for the speaking practice. So this is the 3 levels of the main content. After they have finished talking about every single person, about what they're doing, the pupils' opinions, and to relate with the pupils' personal life, they will then go to the conclusion part, which is just in one simple sentence. The pupils can talk about the feelings of the people in the picture. For example, here, 大家可以在家里吃饭和看电视，大家在一起真快乐。Everyone can have dinner and watch TV together at home. They look very happy. So we encourage the pupils to talk about the feelings of the people in the picture. So this is how the pupils can do their speaking practice. After the listening and speaking practice, we will also have the reading practice. The most challenging part for the reading practice is that 汉语拼音 will not be provided. That is why we encourage the pupils to do some practice at home by reading the textbook aloud, so that they will be able to recognize most of the Chinese characters and Chinese words and phrase, so that they can perform well in the reading practice. We will judge the pupil by the accuracy of pronunciation and the fluency of the reading. We will also do the practice in term 3 and term 4. The last part is about writing, which can be more challenging, especially for term 4. At the end of term 4, we are going to have this paper. This is a practice paper as well. The pupils are required to write 5 individual sentences about this picture. To make it easier, it is not necessary for the different sentences to be related to each other. So the 5 sentences can sound like this. 爸爸站在门的前面. My father is standing in front of the door. 妈妈看起来很开心. My mother looks quite happy. 墙上有一幅画. There is a picture on the wall. 我们周末的时候都在家里. We stay at home during weekend. 当我们在一起的时候，我们感到很开心。When we are together, we feel very happy. So the pupils can write individual sentences which is not necessary to be related to each other. As long as they can write something about the picture, they will be able to meet the requirement. However, the sentence must be fluent, and there shouldn't be any grammatical mistakes. For those Chinese words which the pupils does not know how to write, they can write Hanyu Pinyin. But frankly, writing Hanyu Pinyin is even easier to make mistakes because they have to write the sheng diao, the tone of the word, and it is very easy to make mistakes when writing the letters. It sounds quite challenging, but in term 3 and term 4, we will help them to do more practice in the school, and we encourage them to do practice at home as well. So this is about the writing exercise. At the end of each term, we will have a topical practice as well, which is exam paper. However, the marks might not be recorded. It works as a tool for the teachers to have a better understanding about the pupils' progress in Chinese learning. I will show you one of the sample paper. The front part is not so challenging. It's about choosing the correct Hanyu Pinyin, choosing the correct words, match the different characters to form a phrase or form a Chinese word. As long as they can do the activity book and the worksheet on time and do the corrections, they will be able to do all this. The challenging part is about the comprehension. This is the practice paper for the end of term 4. That is the time when we are going to let all the pupils to practice comprehension. Without Hanyu Pinyin, the pupils have to read a passage by themselves, and with their own understanding, they have to finish the MCQ and open-ended questions. We will do plenty of practice in term 4 with the pupils, so that the pupils can have the abilities to complete this topical practice at the end of term 4. Now I'm going to share with you about my advice about how the pupils can do their self-studies at home. I will share with you and demonstrate how they can use Yizhishi website and the 学乐王. Okay, let's have a look at the Yizhishi first. Oh. Let's make my face smaller. Good. Okay, this is the Yizhishi website. Okay. From the starting of this year, we have been assigned learning tasks in the e-assignment sections in a weekly basis. So most of the pupils are able to complete the e-assignment during the weekends. However, I would like to introduce to you about this e-Chinese magazine, which most of the pupils have not ever clicked in yet, but actually this is a very useful resource. Let's have a look. When you click in, you will see practice in different units. For example, this is for unit 10. You can click in. All the content is structured in a very, very well organized manner. The first row are the contents which is all related to the textbook, which means the pupils must be able to complete all of this in the first row, which includes the textbook reading, textbook practice, Chinese words, Chinese phrase, and listening and speaking practice, and comprehensive practice. The second role is about higher Chinese. So if your child is showing very high ability in Chinese language or very high interest in learning Chinese, you can encourage him to complete the second role, which is about the higher Chinese. For the third role, is about skill training, which is related to what I've mentioned previously about the listening, speaking, reading, and writing. There are listening practice for some of the units. For example, this one, you can click in and you will see the practice, the listening practice. The type of the question are very similar to the school paper. The good thing is the pupils can listen to the audio by clicking at the speaker button as many times as they want. And if they would like to have a look at the text of the audio, they can click the green button over here. Then they will be able to access to the text of the audio. And they can click at the speaker button to listen to the text again. All this practice will be auto-marked after they've finished. So this is the marking button. After they've finished everything, they can click the check button and the system will reflect the result. This is how the pupils can practice listening at home on Yizhishi website. Other than listening, we have speaking. They can go to this section for speaking practice. Let's have a look. Okay, this is a cartoon, like an animation. When you click play, in the animation, there will be a teacher asking some question, and there will be demonstration of a pupil who is doing the speaking, so that the pupils can learn from the demonstration. If the pupil would like to read the text of what they are saying, they can click the green button over here. Then you will be able to see what they are saying in text form over here with Hanyu Pinyin. You can always remove the Hanyu Pinyin by clicking the red button at the side, so that the Hanyu Pinyin will be erased. Then the pupil can practice whether they still can do the reading or speaking without the Hanyu Pinyin. So what I've mentioned is about listening practice and the speaking practice using Yizhishi website at home. All right, after that, it's about the reading parts. Okay, you can go to this section for the reading practice. You'll be able to see a passage with Hanyu Pinyin. If your child has no idea how to read the whole passage, they can listen to the computer's recording first by clicking the speaker button. The computer will then read the whole passage for him. After that, he can read together with Hanyu Pinyin. And after they've been familiarized with the passage, they can remove the Hanyu Pinyin by clicking the red button at the side. And they can try to read this passage without Hanyu Pinyin. For any words that they do not know how to read, they can click the red button again. So the Hanyu Pinyin will show again, so that the pupils can learn how to read the text with the Hanyu Pinyin. For the writing parts, I encourage all the pupils to have a book like the spelling book. They can buy one more of this book and keep this at home. Every day, they can try to copy one or two sentences from the textbook or even from Yizhishi reading passages or any of their favorite Chinese storybooks. Okay, we encourage the pupils to do the writing practice of sentences every day, but we have to control the quantity of the daily practice. We do not want to stress our pupils out. So maybe the maximum of the quantity is just half of the page, but you have to keep doing it in a daily basis. If in one day the pupils is really feeling very tired, maybe they will just write 1 or 2 lines or even 3 lines. it is acceptable as well. But they have to practice writing sentences in a daily basis, so that in term 4, when they have to do the sentence writing based on a picture, they will not feel very strange. They will be familiarized with the sentence writing by then. But for the writing exercise, we do not encourage the pupils to write the same word. Like, for example, 我们, then he will write 我们. No, this is not the correct way. We encourage the pupils to write full sentences from the textbook or from the 一知识 website, the reading passages, or some of their favorite Chinese storybooks. Because writing in full sentences will help the students to cultivate the sense of the language. So they will be able to learn how to say a Chinese sentence in a complete sentence without grammatical mistakes. Okay, so this is roughly about how they can use 一知识 website to do their own self-studies at home. The last role is some enrichment programs, some interesting games that they can do when they have more time. So the most important is the first line, then is the third line. If they still have time and they have strong interest in learning Chinese, they can try the second line of higher Chinese, then they will go to the last line. All right, so this is about the 一知识 website. When they have time, they can also go to this e-exercise section. Let us click in. Click primary 1 and choose any of the units that you would like to practice. For example, unit 9. Then you will see on the left, the menu bar, the different type of practice that they can do on 一知识 website. I encourage the pupils to practice the comprehension part, the last two sections, the last two type of practice, 阅读理解, the comprehension. The first one is 多项选择, is the MCQ. This is a very easy comprehension because it's not a text passage, it's a picture, but they can still do the questions. And they can also do the last type of question, which is open-ended questions. Let us click in. Then you will see this passage, and they will have to type their answer. Okay, if they do not know how to type in Chinese, they can write on a paper, on a piece of paper, it's okay. And after they've finished writing their answers on piece of paper, they can click submit. Okay. Then they will be able to see the correct answer. Then they can compare their own answer from the paper and the correct answer in the computer and do the corrections. It is very important for them to know what the correct answer is so that they know what the teacher's expectations are for particular questions. So this is about the e-exercise section. Other than the first three, they can also go to the e-reading section where they can access to plenty of e-Chinese books. They can click read. Okay, this is the play button. This is the auto play button. When they click this, the system will read the storybooks for the pupil automatically. After they've finished reading the whole passage, the whole book, they can practice reading as well by clicking the red button to remove all the Hanyu pinyin so that they can practice reading without Hanyu pinyin. And after practicing reading, they can click the purple button, which will bring them to this comprehension exercise page. If they do not know how to read the question, they can click on the blue button, the speaker button, then the computer will read the questions for the pupils. which is really very, very helpful, right? Okay. After they finish everything, they can click submit to check their answers. So this is about the e-reading parts. If after finishing the e-assignments, e-Chinese magazine, e-exercise, and even e-reading, they finish everything, then they can go to the 知识方 land. It's an enrichment program as well, which includes different kinds of games, stories, and online resources. That is why I really strongly encourage all the pupils to take good use of this 易知识 website, because it is very, very resourceful and it can be very, very helpful for the learning of Chinese for our pupils. And other than this, we have this 学乐欢乐伙伴, we call it 学乐网站. I would encourage all the pupils to use this website as a pre-lesson studies platform, which means, for example, let's click in. Okay, next week, for example, if next week I'm going to teach Unit 10, so before I start my lesson, the pupils can go inside Unit 10 and browse through all the content inside, about the Hanyu Pinyin, about the words, about the passages, and everything, so that they will have a basic understanding about what they're going to learn in the coming week. They can even come up with some questions, so that when I start to deliver the lesson, they can ask me the questions they find out during the self-studies session. It will help them to learn in a much efficient way. So this is how they can use this 学乐网站 as a pre-lesson self-study platform. If you all the website address has been shared with all the parents in Class Dojo, and if you cannot find it, you can text me at any time or text your Chinese teacher, any of the Chinese teacher, then they will be able to share with you about the website address. All right. Okay, so I've already shared and demonstrate to you how to use the 易知识 website and the 学乐网. And next is that for most of the pupils, they are able to do the spelling test very well, but for some of the pupils, they have difficulties memorizing all the words in spelling list. What we can encourage you to do is that to do more practice at home. If let's say doing the practice of spelling test on Thursday is not enough, then they can start to practice on Wednesday. So they can practice like for 2 days before the real spelling test. If not, they can practice the spelling list every day, which can help them to better memorize all the words. But we really have to control the quantity of the daily practice. We do not want to give too much stress to the pupils. And for primary 1 and primary 2, we would like to encourage all the pupils to cultivate good learning habits by practicing handwriting in a daily basis, like what I mentioned previously, to copy some of the sentences from the textbook in a daily basis, so that first they can practice the handwriting, and at the meantime, they can also practice how to write in complete and fluent sentences. By practicing writing, they will also improve the speed of writing, because when they go to upper primary levels, they will be required to write composition. And if they would like to finish writing the composition within the given time, the speed of writing must be improved. So today in the video, I've shared with you about our expectations about homeworks, the writing exercise book, activity book, worksheets, and spelling books. I also shared with you about the listening, speaking, reading, and writing, which the pupils will be learning in term 3 and term 4, and how we are going to do the practice. The sample papers I've already shared with all of you. I also shared with you about the topical practice, different type of questions, and I've emphasized that my concern about the pupils can be the comprehension part, which they can do their self-practice on 易知识 website. I've also demonstrated to you how to use 易知识 website and 学乐网站, the 学乐 website for pupils' self-studies. I really hope this video can be helpful. Yes. Okay, so now my face. Yes, I really hope this video can be very helpful for your child's learning of Chinese language in term 3 and term 4. If you have any questions, you can always text me or your child's Chinese teacher. We will be very glad to help you. All right, so all the best for your learning in term 3 and term 4.